This is Brandon Drew, the ISCA Vice President for Elementary Schools. I currently work at West Elementary School, working with grades 3 through 6. This is my 15th year as a school counselor, several of those years in Arizona as well as Iowa. Starting off my presentation here, I'm going to go through probably the most important part of my job right now, which is the Positive Action curriculum. Positive Action is a curriculum that is similar to Second Step and other global social skills curriculums that not only are taught with counseling lessons, but also are taught with in-class lessons as far as the teachers teach. Now, with this particular curriculum itself, you can see Positive Action here. There's many different things that you can go over, but I'm going to draw your attention first to this particular thing here. Now, this big thing for me has been is that our entire school district has adopted this K through 12. We're not only teaching this at the elementary, middle, and high school level. With this particular philosophy, we are also using it. It has the mindsets built in, talks about the alignments of the different behaviors as far as the ASCA model goes, and there's a lot of pretty good factual information as far as it goes for preventative things that can happen in a district. I can't show you a ton of it because we did buy the curriculum K-12, but something I will draw your attention to here gives you an idea of all of the different things that it crosses over. Not only does it cross over into reading, but also language arts, science, and many other domains. So I will go ahead and it also asks you to check off throughout the year, how are you doing? What does it look like? Now, this particular document here talks about all of the different weeks that you can use it. You can also use it as far as it goes with a assembly schedule and other things as well. We don't tend to use it that way. We use what's called Living the Mustang Way. We do use all of the different words and the vocabulary that's also embedded in it, however. Like I say, it's a very, very user-friendly curriculum. Not only does it have lessons for the classroom, but it also has lessons for the counselor as well. So I'll go ahead and close that out. Then also another thing that I use quite extensively in my classroom when I'm teaching is what's called Kagan Cooperative Learning. Kagan Cooperative Learning is very cool because it allows the kids to, as it says there, interact with the other children in the room through different games and different things. I'll just go ahead and go to here to hand up pair up. It's just one of those fun things to be able to get kids up and doing as far as problem solving and other things. It's a very, very helpful curriculum to allow other students to interact with each other. One thing that we love to do is we love to do what are called praisers. One of the greatest parts about this particular curriculum is it always encourages students to acknowledge the positives that the other person has done with them. And one of my personal favorites is the Kool-Aid Man. And if you're of the similar generation as me, that you remember the Kool-Aid Man going, "Oh yeah!" And it's just kind of one of those fun things that you can incorporate into your lessons as well. Moving forward, looking at Teachers Pay Teachers. I know that paying for stuff isn't always something that we love to do as school counselors, but I have found this particular one, the DIY counselor, as a very good one. Also, anything on TPT is usually pretty good. One of the nice parts about it is that you're obviously then paying back somebody else in kind for what they do. One of my favorites at this point are these what are called no prep lessons, where you get a PowerPoint. You get the ability to, obviously, since you can edit, you can pick and choose which slides you want. You can hide and use those. It also comes with handouts that are pretty user-friendly, pretty easy. If you want to use them as far as an actual handout and give them to the kids, you can. Or you can also go ahead and just project them like I do a lot of times. And then another nice part is that it also gives you, especially some of your more involved people off of Teacher Pay Teachers will actually have part of a lesson plan that's also embedded within it, which is also really great. So then you can just add this to your arsenal of things that you can teach each year. Then I would also draw your attention to my newsletter that I do. I use the website S'more. I know that some people really enjoy that website, and it's nice because you can export it pretty easily to a pretty nice working PDF like this that you can then just go ahead and copy out and distribute. I also do, and I'm not sure how everyone's school works, I also have what's basically midterm and quarterly reports that I send out, just formatted in a simple, easy to use way, explaining to any people that are stakeholders here, looking at the vocabulary and then what we're teaching each and every quarter. Let's go. And I also teach the 7 Habits of Happy Kids. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. It also goes along with the Leader in Me series, and if there are some schools around the area that also have that as one of their curriculums as far as a magnet school goes, so that's a pretty cool thing if you ever get a chance to observe any of those. I know that there's one in Cedar Rapids, there's also one in Waterloo. But teaching with this book in particular is pretty easy, pretty user friendly. I have been able to find throughout the internet and create some things for myself, being able to teach this to the 3rd graders, giving them the idea of what are these different things that we can do, how do we cultivate being a leader. And then let's skip back to the internet. I also use Google Classroom. Google Classroom is amazing. It helps you to organize different assignments, especially with my 6th grade students. My 6th grade students are pretty independent. Just ask them if you want. I also use what's called SurveyMonkey. Oh, that survey's closed. But anyway, I'll use this for lots of different data collection and ways to get things. As you can see in the left bar here, it organizes all of your classrooms. One of the greatest parts about Google Classroom is you can set due dates and you can share things pretty easily with Google. Our entire district, fortunately, is pretty much Google enabled, which is really awesome. Another thing I'll show you about data collection is I use what's a website called Kahoot. Kahoot is great because it allows you to basically have kids take tests without having to give them worksheets. More and more, anything that you can make interactive or fun is really great for kids, especially when you're having them do something that you need them to do, but they think it's just fun. So that part's really great. One thing that's nice about Kahoot is you can give them a long timer, and you can also make it so this is worth 0 points each time. So then the kid's only just competing against themselves. One of the greatest parts about it is when your principal or other people ask for data, you can then show them this beautiful little graph that'll pop up here, and it'll show you this is an old one, not the same one as we just showed on the screen there, but it'll spit out a bunch of data for you so then you can see it. It'll also give you question summaries, and then each question by question, which one works and which one do you need to reteach perhaps. And then the last thing that I'll draw your attention to is the Ophelia project. I know that this is something that a lot of people have probably seen in the past. One thing I found really good about it is there's a lot of free websites free information on here. I use a lot of this for my group lessons that I teach. It's all completely free, which is fantastic. I use this for one of my anger management groups that I teach. Like I say, completely free, just a really, really awesome site called the Ophelia Project. I will also include links in the description when we post this video. If you have any questions, like I say, feel free to contact me whenever. I'll leave all that information there, and I hope everyone's having a great day, and take care.